All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the Torah tribes, Yasha Allah, giving the course all honor, glory, and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Mahashiach, Yahweh Shah. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Mahashiach, Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus Christ, and He is the Savior in the nation of King and King of the nation of Israel. All right. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom to all that observe it Friday night, Saturday night. All right. And, if not, still, mighty shalom. Right. But I'm going to get straight into this. As you can see, this is going into John chapter 10, the parable of the sheep in the door. All right. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but just going into the parable. All right. Going into the parable that's found in John chapter 10, dealing with the sheep and the shepherd and the door. All right. So this is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 1, right? John chapter 10 and verse 1. Because, this is a parable, right? Hey, Israel, what does Israel like to watch? Israel likes to watch, I'm talking about, Israel, they like to watch, the camp videos, waiting for Esau to cut, Salakia, waiting for, the brothers to cut Esau up. You know what I'm saying? That's what Israel likes to watch. They like to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The scriptures is entertaining in its whole role. You know what I'm saying? From the front to the back, man. The scriptures is entertaining. You know what I'm saying? It should be entertaining, right? Because let's go to the book of Psalms, right? We have to get into these parables too, right? You can't just get on Esau all day, right? You can't just get on Eve all day. You can't just get on, Wicked Jakes, all day. You also have to eat the whole roll. You have to get into the parables too, right? Because they're there for a reason, right? They're not just written for no reason. You know what I'm saying? They're written for our learning, all right? Romans 15 and 4. It says, Salaki, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 3. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline mine ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the heart. You see that? So David, as a righteous Salakia, right? Or whoever this man was, right? Not sure if it's David, right? But he wanted to speak wisdom. That's what we should want to do too. We want to speak wisdom, right? He was inclining his ear to a parable, right? And was uttering dark sayings. Hey, the dark sayings are found in this Bible, right? And it's our job to go ahead and unlock them, right? And break it down to the people. You know what I'm saying? And break them down because the Lord, He gives the understanding, all right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 78, I believe, right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 78, and verse 2. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old. You see that? So we want to also open our mouths in parables, like it says in the book of Sirach, chapter 39. We're going to go straight into this, right? The book of Sirach, chapter 39, and verse number 1, right? It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, we seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. So the wise man, right, he's going to be occupied in prophecy, right? He's going to have his mind stayed upon the laws and commandments of the Most High God, right? He's also going to be what? Where the subtle parables are? Hey, John chapter 10, right? There's a lot of parables in Luke, a lot of parables and all throughout these scriptures. And he's going to be conversant in these parables. You know what I'm saying? Verse 3, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. You see that? Conversant, meaning speaking, speaking in parables, right? So let's get into this, right? This is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse number 1. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. Now, I did a quick breakdown through the Spirit, of course, on a previous video, beforehand, right? I did that, posted it in January 15, 2021, so-called. I did that through the Spirit, so you can check that out if you want. That's a quicker breakdown. All right, but this is a more in-depth one. All right, through the Spirit. This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 1. Salak. It says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber." So let's break this down, right? What's the door, right? Because Yahweh Shah is saying that, look, if you don't enter in through the door into the sheepfold is where the sheep reside, right? That's where the sheep reside. Back in the ancient world, and even today, you will have a select section, like a fenced section, right, in which the sheep will reside in there, right, and they'll be safe. But you have the shepherd guarding the gate in order for you to get, or the door, in order for you to get into into the sheepfold. You know what I'm saying? There was a shepherd and there was a door there, right? So guess what? The door is talking about Yahweh Shah, right? Let's skip down to verse 9, right? John chapter 10 and verse 9. "I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved and shall go in and out and find pasture." You see that? So Yahweh Shah explicitly states that he is that door in order for you to get into the sheepfold. Now, the sheepfold, right, or the sheep that's in the sheepfold is talking about the nation of Israel, right? The sheepfold is symbolic for the nation of Israel, right? Let's get some precepts on that. Who are the sheep? Because it's not talking about literal sheep, right? This is a parable. So what does that mean? It's not literal, right? The sheep is not literal sheep. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 9. Right? Let's get this precept first. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 9 and verse 36. "But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd." You see that? As sheep having no shepherd. And what's this multitude? This multitude is a multitude of Israelites. Because guess what? Yahweh Shah was in Israel during this time. Right? So this multitude were Israelites. And he said, and he likened, or the narration likens them, right? Likens the multitude as sheep. You know what I'm saying? As sheep, right? Let's get some other precepts. It's the book of Psalms, right? The book of Psalms, chapter 119, and verse number 172, I believe. Right? Salakia. Psalms chapter 119, verse 176. "I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy commandments." You see that? So David said that, look, I went astray like a lost sheep. And who is a lost sheep? Right? As a whole, as a collective. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. It says, "But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So the Israel is likened unto sheep. All right, this is plain. You know what I'm saying? This is plain. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. This book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. "My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place." So Jeremiah said that my people have been lost sheep. You see that? My people have been lost sheep. Jeremiah is an Israelite, and he's saying that his people have been lost sheep. This is again likening the nation of Israel to sheep, because we are the sheep, right, of the Most High. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 6, right? Proving who the sheep are that's in the sheepfold. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse number 6. "All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord have laid on him the iniquity of us all." Isaiah 53 is going into who? Yahweh Shah, Mahashiach Yahweh Shah, right? It's talking about Mahashiach Yahweh Shah. And in verse 6, "We like sheep, the nation of Israel like sheep have gone astray. Therefore, Yahweh Shah had to bring us back as the shepherd," right? He had to die for us. He had to bring us back to the Father as a shepherd, right? As a spiritual shepherd. You know what I'm saying? Because like it says in the book of First Peter chapter 5, verses 3 on down, Yahweh is the chief shepherd. All right. Right. Let's get another precept. And there's a multitude of precepts about how Israel is likened unto sheep. You know, you can just read the Old Testament, even the New Testament, and just find so many allusions, right? And so many parallels between that, right? Of how Israel is likened unto sheep, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa. It's just a multitude of precepts. I'm not going to get every single one because that'll take a long time, right? Time will fail me. But let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 95, right? The book of Psalms, chapter 95, and verse number 7. Psalms 95 and 7. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your heart, as in the provocation, and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness. You see that? So the Most High is our God, right? Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. We're the sheep of the Most High, right? We get one more precept. It's a book of 2 Samuel, right? It's a book of 2 Samuel, chapter 24, right? 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 17. And David spake unto the Lord when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me and against my father's house. So David was speaking unto the angel of the Lord, and David was basically pleading for the nation of Israel. But David, he didn't say these humans, these people, these men, right? These women and men. David said, behold, these sheep, what have they done? Is he talking about literal sheep? Does David care about, thousands of actual sheep? He's talking about, in this case, the nation of Israel. Behold, these Israelites, what have they done? You know what I'm saying? David's like, look, hey, punish me, don't punish my people. You know what I'm saying? But he called his people sheep. So we just see this concept of how Israel's likened unto sheep. So when we go to the book of John, chapter 10, we understand now what nation Yahweh Shah is talking about in the book of John, chapter 10. That's in the sheepfold. All right. It's not talking about the Moabites, right? It's not talking about Ammon. It's not talking about Esau. It's not talking about any other nation. It's talking about the nation of Israel. All right. It's the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. Meaning you have to go through Yahweh Shah, right? In order for you to deal with the nation of Israel, in order for you to get past the door into the sheepfold where the sheep reside at, you have to go through Yahweh Shah, right? You have to go through Yahweh Shah. If you don't go through Yahweh Shah, you try to deal with the nation of Israel in a way of guile, right, or deceit. You know what I'm saying? You trying to deceitfully deal with the nation of Israel. You're a thief and you're a robber, according to Yahweh Shah, right? You're a thief and a robber, right? Let's keep going. Right, verse 2, right? Because like your Christian pastor, he is the thief and a robber, right? Because what you're not you're not only a thief. The law says thou shalt not steal, right? But hey, guess what? And the law also says in Exodus, if a thief be found breaking in, right, in Exodus, hey, you have that kind of thief, but you also have a spiritual thief. A spiritual thief will be like a false prophet, because he's stealing you, right? And he's trying to bring you out, right, of the sheepfold and try to lead you astray. Now you stealing the sheep, you know what I'm saying? So you're a thief and a robber, right? If you try to deal with the nation of Israel deceitfully, right, through Egyptology, right, Islam, right, through any other way except for Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, except for Yahweh Shah, right? John chapter 10, verse 2. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. If you enter in to the sheepfold by the door, right? Which is Yahushua. Now you're a shepherd, right? Because you have many shepherds, right? You don't only have one shepherd. You have many shepherds. Let's go to the book of First Peter. Let me get him in the pocket Bible. Right, this is the book of First Peter. It's the book of First Peter, chapter 5, and verse number 1. Right, it says, "The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Mahashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of the Most High which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind." So Salakia. So this is Peter, right? And he's saying, feed the flock of the Most High. Again, another precept showing that Israel is the flock of the Most High, is the nation that's always referred to as sheep, right? Because a flock is basically a group, especially of certain animals, especially of sheep and lamb, right? Verse 3, right? Not that as being lords over God's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. Meaning, don't be lords over Israel, right? When you're teaching them and when you're guiding them to Yahushua, right? Don't be a lord over them, right? Don't be like a boss, but rather be a leader, be an example, right? Which goes into humility. You know what I'm saying? Be humble. Verse 4, and when the chief shepherd shall appear. So you have chief shepherd, right? But you have lesser shepherds who are what? The men that the Most High has set up as leaders, right, in these last days, right? Those are the shepherds. Because, like I said, you have many shepherds, but the chief shepherd is Yahushua, right? And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. All right. So come, because you got many shepherds. All right. You got many shepherds. Shepherd is basically, the man that's in charge of the sheep. All right. Because look, you got leaders in this thing. All right. Let's go to the book of first Ezra. Right. Let's go to first Ezra. Let's go to the book of first Ezra. This is the book of second Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 38. And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders. You see that? Leaders, right? These are the shepherds, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Oseas, Amos, and Micah, right? Joel, Obadiah, and Jonah, Nahum, and Habakkuk, Sophenius, Agai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of Yahweh. All right. So you have leaders in this thing. These leaders of the nation of Israel are the shepherds. All right. Because a shepherd is, again, a leader of a flock or a group of sheep. All right. Let's see what Google says. All right. Let's see if they have a good definition. All right, Khan. All right, yeah, this is a good definition. This is a good definition. All right, so let me share my screen. Let me select it. All right, so as you can see right here, so this is the definition of a shepherd. All right, it's an occupation. Okay, it's an occupation because guess what? In Matthew chapter 20, verses 7 on down, we're all working in this thing. We're all working in the field. You know what I'm saying? We're working for a penny a day. But so shepherd, right? A person who tends and rear sheep, but it's deeper than that, right? Because you also got this other definition that says tend sheep as a shepherd, right? Give guidance to someone, especially on the spiritual matters, right? Guide or direct in a particular direction. So these shepherds, right? these shepherds, and it says that is one of the world's oldest occupations, right? These shepherds are supposed to guide the sheep in a particular direction. All right. So they're leaders. It says Wi-Fi is like on one bar. Okay, come on. All right, come on. So going back to that. It's the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 2. But he that entereth in by the door, so meaning you deal with the nation of Israel in a righteous manner, going through Yahweh, right? Because guess what? Yahweh, he is the way. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 14, and verse number 6. All right, this is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse number 6. It says, right, Salaki, not 10, Salaki 14, Salaki. This is the book of John, chapter 14, and verse 6. It says, Yahweh saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So Yahweh says again, plain upon tables, he is the way. So in order for you to deal with the nation of Israel in a righteous manner, you have to go through Yahweh because he is the way. All right. So going back to that, John chapter 10 and verse 2, be he that entereth in by the door is a shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth. Now, who's the porter? Right? Because and what is a porter in the first place? Now, here's the thing: when you look up, when you're reading this, okay, when you're reading this, especially in the KJV, because the KJV renders porter, all right. But for this word in Greek, now when you're reading this, you might be like, okay, what the heck is a porter? And you might look it up, right? Now, watch this. If I look up porter, right? If I look up porter and I look at the definition, it's going to say something else, right? And I'm going to show you why through the Spirit, right? It's going to say something else. Now, here's the porter definition, right? It says a person employed to carry luggage or other loads, especially in a railroad station, airport, or hotel. Now, is this the same thing as a porter that we're reading in John chapter 10, verse 3, right? No, because there's no reference to luggage. There's no references to a railroad station or airport or a hotel, right? It's dealing with a different type of porter, right? Because guess what? The KJV was translated in Britain, right? So we have to look at the British definition of what the word porter means, not the American definition, because you have different definitions of the same word in English. Okay, this is true, right? Let's go to the book, or not to the book. Right, you have to look at the British definition. Watch this. So it says a person stationed at a door or gate to admit or assist those entering. That's the definition that we want, right? That's the type of porter that we're reading in here, because guess what? The KJV was translated in Britain, right? King James, right? King James Bible was translated not in America. It was translated in Britain. So of course they're going to use these British words with their British definitions, right? Okay, so just keep that in mind, right? So so a person stationed at a door or gate. So basically, if we were to say it in like a vernacular of 2021 in America, we'll say like the bouncer, like at a club, the bouncer, the person that lets people in or stops people from coming in, right? So that's basically what the porter is. Now the porter on a spiritual level is talking about the Most High, right? Hey, brother Ahbayah in here, man. Drop the link in, man. Drop the link in for that. Drop the link in for that. All right. Shalom, shalom. All right. This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 3. To him the porter openeth, right? So the porter, right, is talking about the Most High, right? I'm gonna get some precepts on that. Let me read the verse though. And the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. All right. So the porter is talking about the Most High. All right. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 6 and verse 44. Right. John chapter 6 and verse 44. It says, "No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I'll raise him up at the last day." So no man can come through that door. No man can come to Yahushua except the Most High have sent him. Right? Shalom.
So,
Shalom. Shalom. Right? So no man can come through that door unless you have that pass from the Most High. Unless the Most High have drew you, right, to Yahushua. Right? There's no way. Right? You have to have that okay, that VIP. You know what I'm saying? That VIP from the Most High. Right? In order for you to get through that door. All right. Let me know if you got a precept. All right. It's the book of John. I got another precept. It's the book of John, chapter 5, and verse number 21. Right? For as the Father raiseth up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. Right? Salakia. Right? I was looking for another precept. Right? Hold on. Let me look at my. Oh, verse. Hold on now. Okay, Slacky. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. Right? That's not what I want. Slacky.
I didn't get my precept while you look for yours.
Yeah, you got yours.
This is book of Psalm, chapter 119 and verse 176. Did you already bring this precept out?
You said Psalms 119,
176.
176. Yeah, But you can bring it out again.
I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy commandments. So we're that sheep, right? And we hear the Lord's voice, man. When you out there teach on the highways and byways, they don't hear your voice. You know, you got a deep voice. You might have a nice, common voice. Now that's the Lord, talking to them, and that person's spirit is filtering and is bearing witness with that spirit. Because some sheep, they don't know what's going on. They can't hear the words of the Lord. They kind of rebellious. They want to stay in the woods. They don't want to go into the green pastures if you have ears to hear. But the other sheep, they hear the words of the Lord. They follow the shepherd back to the green pasture, and they lay down in the sun if you have ears to hear. But you got it.
That's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Yeah, I got this precept, right? This is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 28, right? Book of John, chapter 10, verse. Well, actually, hold on. This is a better one. Right? It's the book of John, chapter 17, right? In verse number 9. It says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. You see that? So Yahushua was praying for those that the Most High has set up to give unto him, right? He was praying for the shepherds that were going that have access through that door. You know what I'm saying? To deal with the nation of Israel. All right. So
I got another precept with that.
You got it.
It's lucky if I'm off topic or anything like that. Let me know. I just joined in, so I don't really know what you're going into. I'm just trying to precept with what you got.
It's all good. It's all good.
This is Luke chapter 18 and verse 7. And shall not God avenge his own elect? And not on his own elect, it's talking about the sheep again, right? Which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them. Salaki, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. But my whole point is in this verse that the elect is that sheep that the Lord hears, man, or the sheep that hears his voice. So, you got it.
Hey, right, that's right. Yeah, we can get into that. Because Slakia, are you trying to be the reader?
I be the reader,
The water. So yeah, we back at John chapter 10, verse 3.
This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 3. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out.
Right. So the sheep hear his voice. Right. So once the Most High, because he's the porter in this situation, once the Most High, he opens that door, right? And the sheep, they hear his voice, right? And the shepherd, the sheep, they hear the shepherd's voice, right? Right. It's like it. And he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out, right? Hey, we know that voice, right? Being the sheep, we know that voice, right? And he calls us by his name. And hey, guess what? The sheep, they follow. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ever seen a pack of sheep, they just they go together and they just follow. You know what I'm saying? That's how they roll, right? So Slakia, this is right, let me get this classic precept. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, and verse number, right? Yeah, come. Revelation 14 and 4. These are they, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. You know, call me call me olive oil. 'Cause, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. You see that? These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Hey, the sheep, right? That's well, basically the men and women that are righteous, or especially the men, because it's dealing with the 144,000. Hey, they follow the Lamb whithersoever you go, man. Right? They follow the shepherd whithersoever you go, right? The obedient sheep. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some sheep, they might be, whispering to the other sheep, saying, hey, you trying to go over here? Hey, look, it looks pretty lit over here, right? And this side of the forest, hey, let's go to this side. Hey, the other sheep, the obedient sheep, they're just like, nah, tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? Tunnel vision, right? Following the shepherd, right? It's like you got it.
Con got precept with that. This is book of John, chapter 1, and verse 47. And it reads, Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him and said to him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. So a precept he was just coming out with, man. The Lord knows the sheep by name. He's not calling Peter, hey, what's up, nigga? He didn't say to his brother James or to James, hey, what's up, nigga? What's up, Negro? He said, "Hey, man." He called them by their name, man. He always said, Simon Peter, right? He always said, James, John. Again, he wasn't saying nigga, man, because you got a lot of people, even in the truth, calling each other niggas still, man. They're not calling you by your name, right? They give you nicknames, funny names, right? They're not calling you by your real name, right? But I'm gonna read it again though, and it reads John 1:47. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him and said to him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. Nathanael said unto him, Whence knowest thou me? So how you know me, man? Where you know me from? Right? Yahushua answered and said unto him, Before that Philip called thee, when thou was under the fig tree, I saw thee, man. And I saw you when you was under the fig tree. I been saw you, man. I been knew you. Hey, you my sheep, man. Because the Lord, because when you pass under the covenant and stuff like that, that's the same thing with the a shepherd. He has to count all the sheep. He probably
Come,
has 100 sheep. He's missing one sheep. He got to go to the woods and get it. Same thing when we pass under the bond of the covenant. He's gonna be counting all the sheep that passed under. That 2/3 sheep you're gonna be trying to get in, and the Lord gonna thrust him out, man. Because again, the Lord knows the sheep. The Lord knows, and the sheep knows his voice. So kind of got it.
that's right. That's right, man. Come. Call them by name. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, let's just get a quick example of that. Right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse number 18. And Yahushua, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he saith unto them, Follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. Right? And straightway left their nets and followed him. Right? So Simon, it's like Simon, who, he's more known to be, Peter, right? In his Greek name. But Simon and Andrew, right, as they were, casting their nets into the sea, they're fishing, just doing their thing. Yahweh as he walked by, and mind you, they don't know Yahweh, right? They don't know this man. As Yahweh was walking by, he said, "Look, behold, I'm gonna make you guys fishers of men and follow me," right? And straightway they just dropped everything they were doing and followed Yahweh, right? These are the men that follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. When they hear Yahweh's voice, it's like, I know this man, right? Now, they in the flesh, they don't know him, right? They don't know. Maybe they didn't know where he came from, what city he was from. You know, they probably couldn't tell, Yahweh Shah because he had a Galilean accent, right? They spoke the same lingo, right? But hey, they knew Yahweh Shah in the spirit. Because guess what? Salaki. Let me get this other precept, right? That's why when we hear this truth, like it says in the book of Romans chapter 8, hey, our spirit bears witness, man. We hear Deuteronomy 28:68, we're like, hold on now. That sounds familiar, right? We hear Yahweh Shah. Ooh, you said what? You said Yahweh Shah, right? You said Yahweh. Hey, that sounds tight. Yahweh, right? You know what I'm saying? It sounds familiar in our spirit, even though this is new information we're getting, but it just vibes with our spirit. It's the book of John, chapter 15, and verse 26. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceeded from the Father, he shall testify of me. He shall also bear witness, because he hath been with me from the beginning. Not only from the beginning of his ministry, but from the very beginning, right before Genesis, man, right? From the beginning of the creation, these spirits, right? These select spirits were with Yahweh Shah. That's why they know each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why you know each other. It's like you got it.
Kind of want to make one point too. I was trying to put my worldly friend on when I was first coming to the truth. I said, "Your
Uh,
house," and then he said, he was being funny with it. He said, "Yeah," he said something funny with his name, and he said, "Who the heck?" Well, he said, "Who the f is that?" I'm like, "Damn."
Damn. Damn, man. Come, hey, by thy word, hey, by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Man. Come on, you got it though. Or you had precept or
Well, we can go back.
okay, yeah, all right. Con, John 10:4.
This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 4. And
Mm-hmm.
when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice.
Mm,
And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
that's right. A stranger will they not follow, right? All these strange philosophies and doctrines, that's what it's talking about. You know, they're not going to follow that. Why? Because it's strange unto them. They know that that's not their shepherd, man, right? They know that that's not the truth, you know? So, like, let me get this, right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, right? In verse number, I'm going to start at 4, right? Proverbs chapter 7 and 4. It says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange women, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. You see that? The stranger that flatters with her words, man. You know, talking about these, on one level, talking about these philosophies and doctrines of men. You know what I'm saying? That may be enticing, right? Hey, kind of like a damn a guy pulls up in a white van, type of spirit, pulls up in a white van, and asks the kid, you want some candy, right? But guess what? Hey, if that's a smart kid, the kid's gonna be like, I don't know you. Hey, my dad told me not to talk to strangers. Kind of runs away, you know. Hey, he's running away. That's these sheep. The sheep, the stranger's trying to talk to the sheep. Guess what? The sheep is running away. Why? Because the sheep recognize that, hey, look, you are a stranger. I don't know you. Only know my shepherd. You know. I only know Yahweh Shah. I don't know you. You know Islam. I don't know Islam. I don't know damn Egyptology. I don't know Catholicism, Christianity. I don't know that. I only know Yahweh Bosh and Yahweh Shah. You know, come on, you got it.
And I just want to make a point. When you read Acts chapter 19, Ephesus, the Ephesians, Church of Ephesians, they was worshiping this goddess Diana, man. It was going
Mhm.
off, right? All hell was breaking loose, man. Let me get a preacher real quick. I'm going to read Acts chapter 19 in verse 26. Moreover, we see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul hath persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods which are made with hands. So Paul had to go in there as the minor shepherd that he was. He had to turn away the sheep for following this, some what's it called? A graven image, man. Right? He had to go in there and lead the sheep back, into his fold. But I want to jump down to verse 35. I'll start at verse 34. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried out, "Great is Diana of the Ephesians." That's madness. And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, "Ye men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not how that the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana, and of the sheep was fell down from Jupiter?" Those are praising this thing, man, because it's a stranger. But the real sheep of the Lord, they're not entertaining that. The only thing they're entertaining is the Lord Yahweh Shah, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, right? That's why Paul had to write letters to these different churches to persuade them to get the what's it called, the lost sheep back into his fold. But kind of, you got it.
Khan, that's right. That's right. That's
And
right, man.
Slovakia too, Slovakia. And a
Khan.
stranger, it kidnaps you too. A stranger. That's where we got that term, stranger danger, right? So what's it called? And there's this movie. This girl lost all her conscience, and this stranger, he portrayed that he was her husband. She didn't know what was going on. Same thing in this situation. These philosophies, they make it seem like it's normal. Jesus Christ is a so-called white man. You have to get down with the so-called white man system. They make it seem like it's normal, but really you got Stockholm syndrome. You're taken captive mentally and spiritually, right? So the Lord had to bake the same way Peter. The Lord came down and broke you out of that of that cell hold, and now you're free through the Spirit. But come,
Khan, that's right. That's right, man. Khan. Khan, yeah, we can keep going.
this book of John, chapter 10 and verse 5. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. Verse 6. This parable spake Yahushua unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then
Khan. Slot. Khan, yeah. Yeah, hey, because it's a parable. You know what I'm saying? It's a parable. Not everyone is meant to get it. You know. All right, let's get the book of real quick. This is the book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 11. All right. It says, and he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God, but unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables, right? All these things are done into parables. Just like how it says in the book of Sirach, chapter 39. You know, these things, these certain parables, and really the whole Bible, you know what I'm saying? Really the Bible. But, like in this parable in specific, it's playing onto the holy, but there's stumbling blocks onto the wicked. You know what I'm saying? The wicked, like Esau, right? Damn, even wicked Jakes kind of sweating trying to break this thing down, but they can't get it. You know what I'm saying? They think that the sheep is talking about everybody, right? The sheep is talking about the people of the world, right? It's not talking about the people of the world, right? It's talking about the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And we can link that up with precepts of the spirit, right? But guess what? Even if we try to break it down to somebody that the Most High has ordained for them to not get it, we can try to break it down in upon table. We can try to break it down to a molecular scale, right? Meaning just break it down thoroughly. If the Most High didn't want them to get it, and guess what? They're not going to get it, you know? Kind of.
Precept. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So no wicked man, no dude smoking a blunt, he's in port, he's beating his wife with his wife beater shirt on. You're not gonna understand the Bible, man. The people who's gonna understand the Bible, who's sincere, who's humble, who follows the Lord chiefly with the whole heart, man. Who's keeping the commandments plus the faith. But come.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we can get on.
This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 7. Then said Yahushua unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them.
That's right. The sheep didn't hear him. Right. So guess what? If you're not going through Yahweh, right? If you're not in this truth, going through Yahweh to deal with the nation of Israel, guess what? You're a thief and you're a robber. Right. And guess what? Thieves and robbers, hey, they don't get treated nicely by the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They don't get treated nicely by the Lord. Right. Let's go to the books. Like I think I have a precept. Right. Right. This is a book of right. Actually, I'm gonna get, what was this? Job chapter 12. Right. This is the book of Job, chapter 12. Right. Job chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. So the tabernacles of robbers, they prosper now, right? It may seem like these people in the world, they're going through the door, like TD Jakes, right? Joel Osteen, um, these people, these fake pastors, right? Hey, it may seem like, hey, look, they're going through the door, they're dealing with the sheep, and through Yahweh Shah, right? It may seem like that, you know what I'm saying? Because they have all these mega churches and mansions and hundreds and dollars, billions of dollars, millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? It may seem like, they're doing good, but guess what? Most I clearly stated, the tabernacles of robbers, they prosper. They're prospering right now, but guess what? It's going to be put down, right? They're going to be brought down because the Most High, he's only going to do this for a limited time. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? The Most High, the miracles that Satan has given, right, in the authority of the Most High, the miracles that Satan has given to these men of the world is going to run out. It's only temporary. You know what I'm saying? The deal with Satan, hey, that's only temporary. Because at the latter end, hey, Satan's gonna last, you're gonna lose, right? And the Most High, he's also gonna last too. And you're gonna be put out there. And you're gonna have to, and you're gonna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? That's it, right? It's like, but you got a lot of static in your end.
I think that's Jordan. Can you hear me? He's talking.
What? It's a lot.
Can you hear
For
me?
real? Con.
Yeah, every time you talk, it's static. Wait, is it still static here on my side?
Con.
All right, come on, let me leave real quick. Let me leave real quick. I'll come back.
All right, con. Yeah, we can go back to that. Job chapter, John chapter 10 and verse number 8, right? It says, all that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man shall enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and shall find pasture. You see that? So look, like I brought out before through the Spirit, right?
Is it good?
Gone.
Come.
praises. Right. So we already brought out, John chapter 14, verse 6. Yahushua is the way. So that's the only way, you're going to find that pasture. Right. That's the only way. And what's a pasture? Right. Real quick, you want to get the book of Psalms chapter 23, verse 1. Right. This is the famous scripture.
This was Psalms chapter 1, Salaki, chapter 23 and verse 1. The
Mhm.
Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters.
Come. So he maketh me to lie down in the green pastures. The green pastures is talking about what? Basically the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom, good health, good estate, right? It's like it, right? The green pastures, and look, not the grass that not the grass that you see in the hoods, right? It's just basically damn like that yellow, not yellow, but like the brown grass. Yeah, not that kind of grass. You know what I'm saying? And not the type of grass that you see at a damn, high school football field. That it's fake, right? It's all like rubbery. I
Turf.
don't know. Yeah, like the turf. Yeah, turf. It's not talking about turf grass. It's talking about that natural grass. You know what I'm saying? Lucrative, right? So like you got it.
I got no precept on that.
Yeah, the pasture is this truth. Lock it. The pasture is this truth, man.
When we go back to John 10.
Oh, Slovakia. Let me get this precept real quick. It's a book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 15. Right? It says, Slovakia, behold, thou art fair. My love, behold, thou art fair, and thou hast dove's eyes. Behold, thou art fair, my beloved, yea, pleasant. Also, our bed is green. You see that? Our bed is green, right? That green grass. The beams of our house are Kedar, and our rafters of fir. So the beams of our house, meaning we're built on a sure foundation. The point I want to touch on is our bed is green. You know what I'm saying? We got that green, the very nutritious truth. You know what I'm saying? That the Most High allows us to lay down in, right? Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 39, right? Mark chapter 9, verse 39. Right? It's like in Mark chapter 9. Right, what was this at? Right? So okay, slide. We don't have to get it then. Right. I have to get it then. But you there, Ahbayah? All right, yeah, we can go back to that.
This is John chapter 10 and verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
So Yahushua, he came, right, in his first coming to give life, right, unto the nation of Israel, right? Slakia, right? This is the book of John, chapter 11, and verse 35, right? Slakia, am I at 12? John 11, and verse, not 35, 25. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. So that's why Yahushua came in his first ministry, right? To give life unto the nation of Israel. Because Yahushua said, look, I am the life, man. You know what I'm saying? If you believe on me, though you were dead in your sins, like it says in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1, yet you're going to live forevermore. You know what I'm saying? Right? And giving life is not just talking about your heart beating, right? And having air functioning in your lungs. You know what I'm saying? You being able to breathe, right? That's not just life, right? Or you living. You living is also on a spiritual level, right? Because you can be dead spiritually, right? And you could be alive spiritually. We can see this concept in the scriptures, right? Real quick, an example of how you could be spiritually dead. It's the book of Proverbs, right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter select. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot what that was. Proverbs chapter 23, right? Hold on now. 20, 21, right? Okay, con. I haven't pulled this precept in a long time. It's a lot. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. All right. So if you wander out of the way of understanding, you're dead to the Most High, right? If you believe on Yahweh Shah, you're alive. You know what I'm saying? So we see this concept of being spiritually and spiritually alive and dead. All right. Khan, you got it.
I'm gonna get Romans chapter 5. Let me see in verse 15, and it reads, "But not as the offense, so also is the free gift. For if through the offense of one many be dead," we're just talking about Adam. Adam made the offense. Now everybody's dying because of Adam's sin. Much more the grace of the Most High and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, hath abounded unto many. So now he abounded to many. Now we get life through Yahweh Shah, because again, he came not to destroy man's life, but to give life eternal. Look how you got it.
That's right. That's right. Khan. Khan, yeah, we can go back to that.
This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
That's right. And the good shepherd, he's not afraid, right? He's not afraid to give his life for the sheep. You know what I'm saying? Con, because let me get this. It's book of First Samuel. Kind of like David. All right, this is the book of First Samuel, chapter chapter 17 and verse number 33. And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against Philistine, right, to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." And David said unto Saul, "Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught it by his beard, and smote him, and slew him." Right? So David, he killed a lion and a bear, man, just for a sheep, just for one sheep, or for his flock, basically, right? He killed a lion and a bear. So just like how David, and he was David, he's like a number one shepherd, right? Both spiritually and physically, right? Because he was willing to fight a lion and a bear for a sheep. So just like Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah is like, hey, I'm a good shepherd, right? Because I laid down my life for the sheep. That's what Yahweh Shah did. He laid down his life for the nation of Israel. Hey, which also proves that what? He died for the nation of Israel. Bahashima Mashak Yahweh Shah, man. Come on. Got it.
The classic John 15 and verse 13. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. So the Lord laid down his life for the sheep, man. So come.
Come.
Because he's that, because again, he's a lamb. He's referred to as a lamb too. Without spot and blemish. So he's laid down his life for the sheep. Con, you got it.
Con, that's right. That's right. Con. I'm gonna skip down to verse 17, right? Therefore doth my father love me, because I lay down my life that I may take it again. You see that? Oh, so like, yeah, and watch this. No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received from my Father. So Yahweh Shah said, look, and no man's taking my life. You know, Yahweh Shah is just like, hey, let me clarify that. All right. Let me, kind of clarify it, right? Hey, nobody's taking my life. I'm laying it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm choosing this, right? Hey, the cup which the Father hath given me, shall I not drink it? John 18:11, right? So that's, Yahweh Shah said, look, I'm laying down my life for the sheep because I'm that good shepherd. But yeah, we can go back to that. Verse 12.
Con. This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 12. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth them.
So the hireling is basically, a person that's hired to watch over the sheep. He's not really the shepherd. He's not really the owner of the sheep, but he's just a kind of like a rental, you know, or like a temporary person, overseer of the sheep. But he doesn't really have that same connection, you know what I'm saying, with the sheep. All right, because let's go to the book of Isaiah. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 16 and verse 14. But now the Lord hath spoken, saying, within 3 years, and the years as the years of an hireling, and the glory of Moab shall be condemned, and with all that great, very with all that great multitude, and the remnant shall be very small and feeble. It says, within 3 years as the years of an hireling. So the hireling, it could be like the span of like a year. It could be the span of a day. It could be in the span of 3 years, like it says. It's really 3 years, right? That's the standard. A hireling. You hire this person for 3 years. But that hireling, he doesn't have that connection with the sheep like how the shepherd does. That's why when persecution or wolves come and he's out, right? He is not protecting his sheep because that's not his sheep. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really care about it. He's going to run, right? So fine, you got it.
Con, this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Because these hirelings, aka pastors, right? You got like TD Jakes. I wouldn't even call Joel Osteen a damn. Anyways, but yeah, these other pastors, those are the ones who's scattering the sheep right now, man. They getting paid off. They see the wolf coming. The wolf saying, if you don't, the wolf is talking about these other nations, chiefly the people who hire these hirelings, chiefly, but they paying them off. So, look, I got my nose. Verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pasture that feed my people. You have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. Because again, these pastors, these top-notch pastors, so-called the rich pastors, those are really the ones doing the most damage in the hoods. They got a church right there on Martin Luther King Street Boulevard, right in the hoods, man, scattering the sheep. They getting paid off to do it too. But Con, you got it.
Um, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that hireling, that shepherd, because the shepherd, he lays down his life for the sheep. That's what he's about, man. He's about his sheep, right? That's his occupation. That's his life. With the hireling, he doesn't care. He doesn't have that same, connection, like I said, with the sheep, right? Con.
Con. This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 13. The hireling fleeth because he is a hireling and cares not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine.
Con. You see that? It's lucky I got precept. All right. It's a book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 7. Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth. Who is that? So that's talking about Yahweh. Where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon. For why should I be as one that turneth aside by the flocks of thy commandments? If thou knowest not, O thou fears among women, go thy way forth by the steps of the flock, footsteps of the flock, and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tents. Because guess what? That noon, right? The noonday, you know what I'm saying? That noon that symbolizes destruction and all hell breaking loose. So Yahweh Shah, he lets his flock rest at noon. You know what I'm saying? He lets them rest at noon in the green pastures, in the shade, so that they don't get burnt up by that fire, right? So they have a personal connection with each other. But the hireling, he's not going to do all that, man. You know, when something little arises, he's out, right? Because he doesn't care about these sheep, like how the shepherd does, right? So that's why you got to deal with Yahweh Shah, because he actually cares, right? Come.
Let's look at John chapter 10, verse 15. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And
Mm-hmm.
other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Con, and that other sheep is not talking about the Gentile. He's not talking about ethnic heathen, man. Right? It's not talking about other nations. When in the scriptures have heathen ever been referred to as sheep? Right? Righteous sheep. You know what I'm saying? Because I still have not found that. Right? So, Con, this other sheep is talking about what? Namely, the northern kingdom. Right? The northern kingdom, because the southern kingdom was here in so-called Judea during this time of Mahashiach Yahweh. You had three tribes, right? Namely Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Those are the three tribes that are primarily in Israel during this time, because the northern kingdom has already been cast out. You read about that in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40, right? So, like, I got another precept for that. The other sheep is talking about northern kingdom, all right? John chapter Slakia. Slakia, not John, Jeremiah. Like, where is this at? Slakia 7. Jeremiah 7. Con. This is the book of Jeremiah. My praises. Jeremiah 7 and 15. And I'll cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. You see that? So during the time of Jeremiah, hey, guess what? Northern kingdom was already exiled, right? They're already exiled. They're already, pretty much out of the land. Although you did have a remnant of a few northern kingdom tribes, the 3 out of 10, though, right? You didn't have all northern kingdom there. You had most northern kingdom. They were already exiled. You can even read in the book of Tobit. You had northern kingdom in Assyria, right? And from there they left. Okay, Khan, you got
Con got precept. Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. And it reads, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, You are not my people, there shall be said unto them, You are the sons of the living God. Verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, which is Yahushua, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Right? So that's what the Lord is talking about. He's going to gather Judah, gather Israel, and that goes into Ezekiel 37 too, where you got the stick of Judah and Joseph, if I'm not mistaken, or Joseph and Israel, something like that. He gonna point them one stick. He gonna point them one head. They all gonna come back together as a whole nation. 12 tribes of Israel. That's the other sheet. But you got it.
Slot. Right, I got another precept. This book is John chapter 11 and verse number 51. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahweh Shah should die for that nation. Die for what nation? The nation, basically nation of Judea or Judah, right? Kingdom of Judah. So Yahweh Shah, he didn't just die for the southern kingdom. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad, right? The children of God that were scattered abroad, because you had Northern Kingdom scattered abroad, all right? They mainly came to the Americas, but they also scattered abroad, all right? Come.
One more precept. Even when you go to Romans 11 about the grafting in of the Gentiles, no, it's not talking about the heathen. It's talking about the Northern Kingdom, right? But this is I'm gonna prove that in Romans. Well, the Lord's gonna prove that in Romans 11 and verse 23, and it reads, "And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in, for the Most High is able to graft them in again." So what the brother was going into in Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 15, if I'm not mistaken, Ephraim was cast out, but now it says in Romans 11 and 23 that they will be grafted in again. And it says again. If it's again, that means it already happened before, or it was already there before. When was Esau ever in the nation of Israel? The Ishmaelites, the Moab. There was never in the nation of Israel. The northern kingdom is, are Israelites. So the Lord's going to graft them in again. That's a mighty precept you can use to show that it's talking about Israel, or northern kingdom, but still Israelites. But everything straight on your side, King?
Slocky. All right. So I just put in the song. All right, yeah. Come on, we can go back to that.
This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 17. Therefore doth my Father love me, because I laid down my life that I might take it again. No
Come.
man, no man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father.
That's right. That's right. So Khan, yeah, that's basically, the parable. All right. Parable of the sheep, the door, and the porter. The Khan. You got any other precepts on that? Khan. With that, um, actually, we can bring out a closing precept. This person, neat, nist, nice sticker 2X said, God bless you, brother, but go get some rest. I appreciate the thought, but hey, let me get this precept. Sometimes, hey, you could tell how the brothers be tired because we saying the book of John, we're reading the book of Jeremiah though. You can tell how we tired. Like we can't even say what book we're in. Like Psalms to the 132 in verse 3. Surely I will not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. I will not give sleep to mine eyes, nor slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for the Lord, and habitation for the mighty God of Jacob. You see that? So Bahashima Mashak Abashah. And sometimes, I be trying to stay up, but the Lord just be like, just make me pass out, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how the brothers, they staying up until like 4, you know, Like, hey, all praise to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But look, we will not give sleep to our eyes. Lord willing, we're going to continue to stay up. Lord willing, we're going to continue to wake up early to get into this word. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, right? Because guess what? We have to be in grind mode, right? As much as this world may try to slow us down, we have to always understand that we have to be in grind mode, and that this body, this earthly tabernacle, has to be put off, right? So,
Come, look at this precept. Luke 17 and verse 10. One of my favorite precepts now. So likewise ye, when you shall have done all those things which I commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. Straight like that. I'm not going to even expound on that.
that's right. That's right, man. Um, so with that, it's your brother Yash Allah.
Brother Abaya.
Coming back y'all with yet another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Mahashiach Yahweh Shah, right? Lord willing, this is edifying. Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah. Shalom.
Shalom.